David had always struggled with one thing: doing the hard stuff. Every time life put something challenging in front of him, a tough work task, a long term project, a conversation he didn't want to have, his brain did the same thing every time: avoid, delay, escape. He watched other people stay consistent, push through discomfort, and get things done, while he felt stuck in the same loop of resistance. And over time, it started to hurt, because it wasn't just about the tasks anymore, and it was about what avoiding them did to his confidence. Until one day, exhausted from running in circles, he began searching for a way to break the pattern. That's when he came across something unusual: a concept called the Blue Lotus Method. It didn't promise motivation, it didn't promise instant change, but it promised understanding. And for the first time, David felt like maybe the problem wasn't him. Maybe it was the way his brain was trained to react to discomfort. So he decided to try it. And that decision became the moment everything started to shift. The Blue Lotus Method. Imagine a lotus flower, not growing in clean, clear water, but in mud. Thick, dark, heavy mud. That's where lotuses come from. Not because they enjoy the mud, but because that's the only path toward becoming what they're meant to be. The Blue Lotus Method is built on the same idea. Hard things are the mud. Your mind is the lotus. And growth only happens when you rise through the discomfort, not avoid it. This method has 3 steps, and David learned each one the hard way. Accept the mud. Before this point, David's relationship with hard tasks was simple: going to bed and sleep. He fought the resistance. He hated the feeling. He wished tasks were easier. But the Blue Lotus Method teaches something different. You don't remove the discomfort, you accept it. So David tried something new. Instead of telling himself, "I should feel motivated," he told himself, "This feels uncomfortable." And that's exactly how it's supposed to feel. The pressure suddenly disappeared, and for the first time he realized the hard feeling isn't a sign to stop. It's the beginning of the process. Just like the lotus, he had to start in the mud. And instead of fearing it, he learned to acknowledge it. Rise through. Lotus don't go around the mud. It pushes through it slowly, gently. One tiny movement at a time. That became David's new rule. One small step. Not the whole task. Not the perfect version. Just a single tiny movement. If he needed to write a report, he wrote 1 sentence. If he needed to exercise, he did 30 seconds. And something magical happened every time. Once he started, his brain followed. Once he moved, momentum appeared. He didn't wait for motivation anymore. He didn't negotiate with his brain. He didn't try to feel ready. He just rose through the mud, one small step at a time. And slowly the tasks that once felt impossible became manageable. Not because they got easier, but because he finally learned how to move through discomfort instead of running from it. Reach the surface. With consistency, something inside David changed. His mind felt clearer and his confidence grew. He wasn't chasing motivation. He wasn't beating himself up. He wasn't trapped in avoidance. He was rising, just like the lotus breaking through the water. And when tasks were finally done, when he completed what he had avoided for months, the feeling wasn't just relief. It was pride, control, clarity. Hard things didn't feel like threats anymore. That's what reaching the surface looks like. Not perfection, not discipline through force, but clarity through progress. What this method did to David's brain. Over the next week, something became obvious. David wasn't the same anymore. He wasn't fighting his brain. He was working with it. He lowered mental resistance. He built new neural pathways. He strengthened his self-trust. He shifted from avoidance to action. And tasks that used to feel impossible now felt natural. Not easy, but natural. Because the Blue Lotus Method doesn't promise comfort. It promises transformation. So here's the truth. Some people seem incredibly disciplined, but they're not relying on motivation. They've simply learned to rise through discomfort the same way a lotus rises through mud. If you want to master your brain, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop fighting the discomfort and start taking the smallest step possible. Your brain will follow. It always does, just like David. And here's something important. David's journey didn't start with hard tasks. Before he learned the Blue Lotus method, he struggled with something deeper: dopamine overload. His brain was stuck chasing quick rewards, which made hard things feel even harder. So, if you want to see how he reset his brain and broke free from the cycle of instant pleasure, I've linked that video in the description. It's the perfect next